All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Relief Valve podcast. We've got an update here today. So, a little cruise ship here has ended up going with getting the hantavirus. Now, normally, as I'm learning about this, as I'm researching this and putting this story together, this is supposed to be humans are supposed to get this from rats, feces, urine, whatever. For some reason, this particular one now appears as the WHO and CDC are saying this one can spread from human to human. So, hantavirus outbreak spreads to Europe after the MV Hondius cruise passenger tests positive, coming back home. It is now multiple passengers at this point. A suspected hantavirus patient is being hauled off to the stricken MV Hondius cruise ship in head-to-toe protective gear on a gurney. So now I was curious, obviously, about what the hantavirus is, a new thing that we're going to learn about that's going to lock us in our homes and make us follow all the arrows in Walmart, right? And wear our stupid face diapers like we did last time. But recent reports of suspected hantavirus, a rare and often fatal virus, have sickened multiple people on a cruise ship and resulted in 3 deaths. The World Health Organization said it is monitoring the ongoing outbreak. To date, one case of hantavirus infection has been laboratory confirmed, and there are 5 additional suspected cases, and some in the United States now as well. I think at least one in Ohio. The organization wrote on X of the 6 affected individuals, 3 have died. One is currently in intensive care in South Africa. So all this shit comes from. Can they just stop fucking everything in South Africa? And Africa in fucking general? Can you just live like it's 2026 and it's not 1200? The 1200s? Cruise operator Oceanwide Expeditions told USA Today it was responding to a serious medical situation aboard the MV Hondius during its voyage from Argentina to Cape Verde off of Africa's west coast. Here's what to know about the virus, how it spreads, and whether it's common in Ohio. Like I said, it's in Ohio. It could be they could have it, or it could just be a person from Ohio. We don't know. They're all horrible people. Hantavirus is a group of viruses carried mainly by wild rodents that can cause rare but serious diseases in people, especially severe lung or kidney illness, also known as hantavirus. It includes hantavirus pulmonary syndrome (HPS) and hantavirus infection non-HPS, according to the Ohio Department of Health. HPS can be deadly, the CDC says. 38% of people who develop respiratory symptoms may die from the disease. Betsy Arkawa, Gene Hackman's wife, died from HPS a week before the actor died from natural causes. I didn't know that. Is it common in Ohio? How about anywhere? No, the department. I mean, you know what? We deal with rodents here because we're out in the country and we have farm animals. So we end up dealing with that here. And none of us are getting HPS, and obviously, we're keeping clean. But like when you have chickens, for example, they are attracted to the chicken feed, and then they will come to your property because you have livestock. So we end up dealing with it. We put traps out. We get rid of them. Them and field mice. Deer mice that carry Sin nombre virus, the most common cause of hantavirus pulmonary syndrome in North America, are found in Ohio, but no confirmed cases have been reported. CDC has reported more than 800 confirmed hantavirus disease cases in the U.S. since 1993, most cases being reported in the West and Southwest. So the symptoms of hantavirus pulmonary syndrome usually begin to show 1 to 8 weeks after contact with an infected rodent, according to the CDC. I explain contact. We're in South Africa, right? Where somebody that the person originated from. Explain contact. Early symptoms can include fatigue, fever, and muscle aches, especially in the large muscle groups like the thighs, hips, back, and shoulders. In addition to fatigue, fever, and muscle aches, about half of HPS patients also experience headaches, dizziness, chills, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, or abdominal pain, or common cold, common flu. Late symptoms of the illness include coughing and shortness of breath and tightness in the chest as the lungs fill with fluid. So the lungs, as I was reading something, the lungs panic when the disease is there and they overcompensate, and I fill you up with liquid. They fill with fluid because I don't know. Per the CDC, these symptoms often appear 4 to 10 days after the initial phase of the illness. Avoiding contact with the rodents in their urine or feces is the best way to prevent hantavirus infection, according to the CDC. And we'll bear that in mind. If mice or rats are present in a home or vehicle, people should safely clean up urine droppings, dead rodents, and nesting materials. Owners of pet rats can reduce risk by consulting veterinarians about testing. Yeah, I can't believe people have pet rats. I went to the liquor store the other day. We're getting off topic. I went to the liquor store last week, and a guy had 3 rats on his back. He came into the domesticated. They were his pets. So he's like, "You want to pet him?" I was like, I mean, I guess, but it was just so fucking weird. But they were chilling on his back. Didn't drop down. Didn't run. Nothing. They chill with him while he runs all his errands. Maybe he's dead now. Who knows? But I did wash my hands immediately afterwards. So now the newest update here is it has spread to the United States. It is in Ohio. I don't know if it's anywhere else. It's in Eastern Europe as well. So at least 23 passengers from the hantavirus infected cruise ship MV Hondius have already left the boat and returned home, including to the U.S., according to a shocking new report. And one of them has already gotten sick. The travelers did not realize they'd been exposed to the deadly virus, which has a mortality rate of up to 40%, because now it's spreading human to human, I think, through breathing, like COVID, respiratory. When they left the expedition vessel during its stop at St. Helena, a tiny island in South Atlantic, on April 23rd, according to a passenger who is still aboard the ship. There are 23 people wandering around here, and until 3 days ago, no one had contacted them, the passenger told the Spanish newspaper El País Mira Lendeja. The Australian went back to Australia, the one from Taiwan to Taiwan, the Americans to all corners of North America, super duper. The Englishman to England, the Dutch to Deutschland. I don't remember the rest, he said. One of the passengers, a Swiss man who had returned home with his wife, tested positive for hantavirus on Wednesday, authorities said. I think we've already got a death from it. The patient was initially taken to Zurich Hospital, tested negative for the virus, which can lie dormant for up to 8 weeks. Cool. He was apparently just one of many expedition passengers who decided to hit the road during the Dutch vessel's 2-day stop in the British territory. Go get him, buddy. Spread it everywhere. A bunch of fucking plague rats. Territory last month. Argentine investigators now believe that a Dutch couple was responsible for bringing the virus on board. I apologize to the South Africans. It was a goddamn dirty Dutchman for bringing the virus on board. You dirty motherfucker. Was he Dutch or was he black and he was living there, right? Like another immigrant. After picking it up from the rodents while visiting a landfill during a bird watching tour in the city of Ushuaia, days before. It's definitely a white guy. A black person was not going bird watching tours. Days before the ship departed from the Argentine port on March 20th. You dirty Dutchman. Dirty fucker. Both husband and wife are now dead. Now I feel a little bad. That makes bird watching problematic, doesn't it? There is one hole in this theory. Authorities previously said that the area and the surrounding province of Tierra del Fuego had never recorded a case of the hantavirus, and now you have brought it here, you dirty fucks. Though usually spread through rat droppings, the WHO said a rare strain of hantavirus that can spread between people and the Endes virus is the culprit behind. Is the culprit behind the Hondius outbreak. I was reading ahead as I was reading, and I got thrown off by Hondius. It's a very odd name. Like Hondius, Han Solo, Hondius. The WHO said national governments have begun contract tracing the patients, but experts say there is unlikely to be widespread infection from the outbreak because hantavirus isn't nearly as contagious as, say, COVID-19. It requires large saliva droplets from talking to people, so like the COVID. Close person-to-person spread, so sexual interactions, right? A hug, a kiss, what have you, said Ali Khan, Dean of the College of Public Health at the University of Nebraska Medical Center, one of the top infectious disease research hospitals in the world. He added, "We're probably looking at more than a hello, how are you?" The first victim's wife was infected. The doctor who spent time with him maybe prolonged conversations over lunch or dinner. It shouldn't be casual conversations that started this. Okay, so we can say hi and hello to each other, but don't keep fucking yapping, because I don't want this. Just fucking move on. However, there are fears that the contract tracing has started too late. Go fucking figure. They did that with COVID too. Passengers who left the boat were only informed of the terrifying virus outbreak days ago, according to the traveler who spoke to El País. The passenger claimed that the WHO didn't begin contacting the escapees until 3 days ago, despite the first passenger getting sick on April 6th. But the WHO would like for us to keep funding them, and they would like to stay in business. They're super useful. That patient, a 70-year-old Dutchman, died on April 11th, almost 2 weeks before the St. Helena stop. And St. Helena, his ill wife, disembarked with his body and nearly 24 other passengers. WHO said Wednesday that the ship's operating company, Oceanwide Expeditions, had recently emailed departed passengers about the outbreak that had overtaken the ship, but didn't specify when that communication began. International contact tracing is ongoing. Passengers who disembarked from the ship were informed of the hantavirus case by the ship's operators and asked to report any signs and symptoms. WHO representative told the Post in a statement, adding, "This is how they learned of the case confirmed in Switzerland. Working with national authorities, blah, blah, blah." So, a third passenger has died. Well, never mind. Let's go back a little bit. Listen, well, sure, financial exposure, Oceanwide spokesman, we're in touch with them. The deceased Dutchman's wife, who also disembarked, later succumbed to the virus at a Johannesburg airport. A third passenger has died, and at least 8 others have become sick with the virus while on board the 353-foot vessel, which departed from Cape Verde, where it was denied port entry on Monday and began a 3 to 4 day long journey back to the Canary Islands Wednesday evening. Earlier in the day, 3 patients, a 56-year-old British national, 41-year-old Dutch citizen, and a 65-year-old German, believed to be infected with the virus, were evacuated from the ship and taken to receive medical attention. Isn't it convenient that they've got like one person from like every country and they're just going to send them back like plague rats? That was what happened with COVID. It was so all the Chinese, Chinese people or people that had moved from China or moved to other countries in the United States, they would go back to China for the Chinese New Year, right? I think it was a New Year or Lunar Year. I think it was a New Year. So, and then they'd go back to China to visit their families. Not all of them, but a fair amount did. And when the leak, or intentional or otherwise, happened at Wuhan, they were all interacting with their families, doing their thing, and they all ended up picking up that new COVID strain. And then when their holiday trip was over, they all flew back to their home countries, that they now live in, and just spread like plague rats, and they spread it everywhere. My Facebook that got removed, Mark Zuckerberg, it took it down. I have no idea why, but on January 2020, I was on there warning people. I said, this is spreading. It's already here. It's in the United States. People need to be aware and take precautions or do whatever you feel like you need to do. And apparently it was even here in the end of 2019. It was people were already back home. They were going to large events at stadiums, wrestling events, football events, whatever it was. And it was already spreading between all of the populace. When they got into more information, they found that actually we were getting initial reports in 2019, and then it became more inflamed in 2020. And I told people in January, I said, mark this post, which I can't fucking show anymore because Zuckerberg got rid of it for whatever reason, that be aware of it. It's already here, and it's going to get worse because it's spreading quickly. It's like it's made to do this. Alex Jones was saying it was, engineered and mixed with, what did he say? Like the transmutability of AIDS or something else, something that can make it. You're talking about gene splicing here in diseases, and so you take the flu and then you gene splice it with another ailment that spreads quickly and easily. And if you get the two to basically mate and work together, then you've created a custom virus, and it will have the best of both of those things that it is capable of doing. So now we've got this thing, and it's awfully convenient that a disease that is only supposed to go from rodents to humans, but not then additionally go to humans, has now somehow mutated or gained the ability to go from human to human. So hey, I mean, I love a conspiracy theorist as much as the next guy. My question is this just one of those things where this virus has adapted? Is this more genetic engineering in order to create the next thing. We know the elitists and these globalists are working on shit like this. They've got it in labs. The COVID that they were working on was in a lab being tested. So this shit gets out, it gets into the general population. There you go. Whatever you were working on, everybody gets to have fucking fun with it. So we'll see what this turns into. Is it going to be something? Are we all going to be have to deal with the same bullshit again? I mean, I already didn't participate with COVID. I'm certainly not going to. And well, this one seems very deadly. I mean, if you get Ebola, you're going to bleed out of your eyes and your ass. You should apply some common sense and not be like, Jesus will hear me. He'll heal me. Fuck you guys. Fuck the government. There are some things where you need to take it seriously and go, okay, fair enough. I'll look into what you got. What do you got for me? But this one's deadly because it gets to the lungs and it takes you out. So we'll see what this turns into. You guys, let me know in the comments what you think. Is it another bullshit campaign? I mean, it looks like it's playing out in real time, and these guys are sick. Or do you think it's going to fizzle out and it's not going to be that big of a deal, and they're just fucking jerking our chain with it? Right? You guys, let me know. Thanks. That's the updates I got for today. More will be coming tomorrow. Thanks for all the new followers that I'm getting on X, on Rumble, on YouTube. I mean, it's been cool. Thanks for everybody that's coming on and enjoying the show. I really appreciate it. Talk to you guys again later.